Well, the results of the Israel-Hamas war are clearly visible on the ground of Gaza. Like other West Asian wars in the past, the Israel-Hamas conflict that broke out last weekend has the potential to disrupt the world economy and even tip it into recession if more countries are drawn in. Let's tell you how. But the bigger question right now is that who is bearing the brunt? It is those innocent civilians who either have been brutally murdered or taken hostage. WION's principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibul, spoke to one such Israeli national who anxiously is waiting to go home at Abu Dhabi airport. Take a listen.
Yeah, I'm traveling back home from the Philippines. I went traveling, vacation, and because of the situation, 3 of my best friends were murdered in the party in the southern of Israel. So I had to come back to be with my family and strengthen my family and support my friends and family. So that's the main reason why I go.
Well, apart from Israeli nationals, Gazans have their own share of sufferings. With 1 million evacuation orders in place, the Israeli Defense Forces had earlier allotted 24 hours to the residents to either flee or relocate from the city. And now the country has given a 6-hour window for Gazans to move towards the southern side of the Gaza Strip. And WION has accessed an audio from one such Gazan who took refuge in a shelter before moving southwards to safety. Listen into this clip.
We are there is a shortage of supplies, shortage of food, shortage of water and power. And we are trying to do our best here to survive. The situation is a kind of disaster. What is happening is a crime, a war crime against the Palestinians.
Moving on, apart from civilian deaths, the big question arises, what is the cost of Israel-Hamas war? Let me tell you. Beginning with Gaza, following the recent Israeli evacuation order of northern Gaza, the United Nations Relief and Works Agency indicated that it is no longer in a position to consider their premises to remain protected. UNRWA, who is hosting the displaced residents, recorded that other 5,000 residents have been completely destroyed, while over 3,700 houses have been left uninhabitable, and over 55,000 houses have been partially damaged. Gaza's economy is largely composed of a small and fragmented industrial sector whose share of the total output varies from 6% and 12%. A very large service sector represents 45 to 60% of the total output, while the fluctuating agricultural sector represents 20 to 35% of the total output, and a smaller construction sector represents 18% of the total output. The UN says that more than 80% of Gazans live in poverty with no access to clean water and electricity. That is even before the latest violence during the month of August. The Hamas government in Gaza declared its inability to pay salaries to its employees and claimed that in recent months the cash has not arrived in the city. And that is because of which the amounts dropped significantly from $10 million a month to only $3 million. On the other hand, it seems like Israel is equally suffering. Israeli stocks and bonds fell after the attacks, and many businesses and schools in the country remained closed. Many airlines also had to curtail flights to Tel Aviv, which brought the country a major financial fallout. Israel's central bank has also said that it will sell up to $30 billion worth of foreign reserves to shore up the shekel. So far this week, the main Israeli stock index is down by at least 6%. And as Israel-Hamas war continues to loom, initial predictions by Bank Hapolim indicate that the cost of the war between Israel and the Hamas is estimated to be at least 27 billion shekels. That is about $6.8 billion. And even though the fallout of Israel-Hamas war on the global economy may take time to become clear, experts estimate that the impact would become more severe if the war spirals to the rest of West Asia, especially if Iran gets involved. which is both a major oil producer and supporter of Hamas.